Without further ado, let's dive in. Episode 3, Turnabout Legacy. There's gonna be a song, right? I remember it being a song. Yeah. Cake extravaganza. Your 3 p.m. cake extravaganza. What shall we make today, kids?
Samson
and Judy's Bake and Bow.
Yeah! Are they gonna sing? Macaroons, waffle with cream, chiffon cake that our lightest dream. Life and sing, smile it's true, all that sweetness waiting for you. If there, wherever there always got something special to share. Bing, ah, now let's see what we got for you. Woo! It's cooking time. Are you ready to make something special together? So yeah, we see the screen on the laptop and it turns off. Wow, talk about the blast from the past. Hey Gregory, I'm going back there tomorrow with your boy. I'm finally going to find out what happened 18 years ago. So there's a picture of Eddie when he was young with Gregory. That's so sweet. Are we gonna cry? April 2nd, 10:05 a.m. Zodiac Hall. Fountain Room. Ah, there's a lot of little cherubins playing fruit and playing with the fountain. Hello, 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 hello. Yep. So this is us. Well, Thunder, are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Why have you brought me to an art gallery of all places? Hey, you had nothing going on. Hello, hello. Guess who's here? Your Bando is in the chat, Edgeworth. Hey, seems like the perfect chance to come and enjoy the magic of star sign stuff together. I'm leaving. Chill, big guy, I'm just joking. You know about the IS-7 incident yet? The old man's last case? Of course. Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor. And I reviewed them again last night after your invite, see? I brought him the files with me. I was also present at the trial all those years ago, although my memories of it are somewhat hazy. Yeah, black and white picture of Gregory. As a child, I was completely in awe of my father. The sight of him in court was inspirational. Yeah, if we remove the hair, it's exactly Edgeworth's face. Remove the hair and the glasses. This is Edgeworth. Objection! Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, and opposite him, Manfred von Karma, the man who would become my mentor. It was quite a case. However, he ended with the conviction of the accused. Because, of course, von Karma never lost in 40 years. So you were there too, huh? You were in the courtroom for Gregory's final outing? Shrugs. Well, that will make explaining things easier. I wanted you to know something, see? That something, air quote, being what really went down. Not the truth in those files, but the truth with the capital T. It was 18 years ago, smack dab in the middle of a real doozy of a winter. The buildings were covered with a blanket of snow. It looks like the streets were lined with popsicles. But things were so innocent behind those frozen doors. In fact, some pretty sordid stuff went down. This was back before yours truly was the fine figure of an attorney you see before you today. 18 years ago. December 24. Christmas Eve! 5 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room. Ah, there it is. Hey, Mystery! Mystery, get it? This one really came out of the blue, huh? I did. We even caught him before the ink on the arrest paper was even dry. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. I'm here visiting a client with my assistant, Eddie Fender. A murder on Christmas Eve? What's the world coming to? In the dark of the night, at the end of the day, I saw two timely saviors a-coming my way. Welcome, my friends, to the visitor's room, and if we're not friends yet, I'm sure we will be soon. Whoa! Talk about an entrance! And even Peter's doing the jazz hands. I was not expecting that! Neither was I. Sorry if I surprise you. I'm just so happy to see you both. Thanks so much for coming out. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. You're the accused, I take it? I am. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, at your service. Takes off his hat. Polite bow. I look forward to representing you. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Pleased to meet you, sir. Can I have your autograph? I'll do everything I can to help. Come on, Edward. Calm down, please. You'll have to forgive him. He's still new to this. He's been helping me out part-time, but he's far from fully-fledged lawyer material yet. Nonetheless, I'm hoping you'll be of some assistance in investigating the particulars of this case. Gregory and Eddie, it is an honor to meet you both. My job as a defense attorney is to save my clients from wrongful convictions. So the first thing to do is establish whether or not he truly is innocent. Perhaps we could begin by having you tell us a little about yourself. What am I thinking? I haven't even told you my name. I'm Samson Tangaroa. Tangaroa? Samson. Yeah, Samson and Judy. That I get it. Samson Tangaroa. Tangaroa. I tried to find the pawn here. I can't. It seems to escape. Tangaroa Samson. Oh, it's probably gonna come. They're probably gonna make a pun for that name later. Knowing them. It really is you! Samson Tangaroa, the world's greatest confectioner! Oh, you flatter me, my young friend. And call me Samson. All my pals do. Wow, thanks, Samson, I will. I can't believe I'm meeting you in person. He's got starry eyes, poor guy. He's taking notes in his notepad. I thought it was for an autograph, but basically it was for him taking notes. It seems that he knows something of our client. Mystery! It's the Samson Tangaroa, the singing, dancing, confectionery making sensation. Please. He's gonna sing. What shall we make today, kids? Macarons, waffle with cream. Chiffons cake that are right to a stream. Laugh and sing, smile is true. Oh, that sweetness waiting for you. Here, dear, where, everywhere. Delvin's got the special to share. Ping! Now, let's see what we've got for you today. Yay! I almost started dancing along. No way! I got to sing with the Samson Tangaroa! This is a dream come true! Thanks, little pal. It means a lot to hear you see that. Adjusting his bow tie. His necktie, sorry. My apologies, but I think we need to discuss the matter at hand. Of course, I'm sure you're both very busy. Alright, where would you like me to start? Samson Tangaroa. So you're not just a confectioner, but also a singer and a dancer. I sure am. When I'm having fun, my body just starts moving. You must really enjoy making desserts. Haha, I wouldn't be so much of a confectioner if I didn't. I live to make sweets that will bring joy to others. Hey, they're not just things, they're works of art. Sparkling, dazzling, mouth-watering creation, the stuff that dreams are made of. So he aims to create joyous and inspirational pieces, does he? About the incident? I understand that the incident in question happened at your mansion. It did. We were holding an international confectionery contest there when a body was found inside one of my creations. Blood on my chocolate! Disgusting! Inside one of your... No way! The detective in charge placed me under arrest because of it, and now here I am. But I could never take a life, never! I'm sure the police will see that too in time. They will realize their mistake. I sure hope so. And what can you tell us about the victim? His name is Artie Frost. Of course he is. He was taking part in the contest. Mr. Frost was a wonderful confectioner. His creations were things of real beauty. I just don't understand. Why did he have to die? I'm sorry. He seemed generally upset with the victim's death. I think I have a pretty good measure of the man now. Mr. Tangaroa, there's just one last thing I need to confirm with you. You didn't kill Mr. Frost, correct? Correct! I swear to you I didn't do it. Like I told you, I could never take a life. Never. He seems quite sincere. Alright, I'm going to take you at your word. Thank you for being so forthright with me. Likewise, it's good to talk to somebody other than those detectives. We'll head to the scene of the crime and see what we can learn. We'll be in touch when we have something more to tell you. Goodbye, Gregory. Goodbye, Eddie. I'm counting on your boat. December 24th, 6 p.m. sharp. Contest venue, Fountain Room. So Judy is there too. Are we gonna do the singing again? I thought Eddie's gonna would do it like, you know, if we meet her 18 years later, that would be awesome. Like, you know, the good old days. And there's a saxophone and a trumpet on display. There's a xylophone, a lyre. It's pretty cold out there, huh, Mr. E? I never saw so much snow. What, you never been to the snow festival in Sapporo? I mean, that's pretty much it. Yes, and it doesn't seem like it will be letting up anytime soon. But just look at this place. What a sweet house Simpson's got. It's huge. Yes, big enough to hold an international confectionery contest, no less. Welcome, welcome, everyone! Come on in! We'll have so much fun! Ta-da! Oh no! She turned the, there was basically a sheet on top of a dining cart with tea and utensils and looks like a teaspoon. No, it's like a tea set where the cups and saucers are shaped like stars and the teapot shapes like a crescent moon. And the milk and the cream are in other, star-shaped things. Are you alright? So, yeah, she removed the sheets and that was actually her apron. So she almost hit Gregory in the face with that movement. That's why she's asking if we're alright. I'm sorry! Would you happen to be Mr. Gregory Edgeworth by any chance? I would. It's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am. I'm Eddie Fender, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant.
Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Offender, welcome to our humble abode. Judy Bound, it's an honor to meet you both. I'm the housekeeper here, and Mr. Tangaroa's assistant.
Yeah, well, the way you were dancing, I was wondering if you weren't his girlfriend as well. There, everywhere. In the oven, there's always something to share. Ding! Ah, come on, it's time to rate. Yeah. I need to get accustomed with the song. Oh, it's too far back. You're no housekeeper, you're Judy Bound. You're the Judy Bound.
You know a little something about work?
A little? I watch you on TV every chance I get. I'm Bacon Bob, biggest fan.
Hey, it's very kind of you to say so. We'd be nothing without our fans.
And what might a Bacon Bob be? Come on, the song I sang? It's only the biggest show on TV. Every kid on the planet loves it. The dynamic duo of Samson and Judy bake and make delicious sweet stuff, all while singing and dancing. Like this, check it out. What shall we make today, kids? Cookie dough, caramel, fluffy choux cream, tiramisu.
Everyone, come along. Baking treats with a smile and song.
There.
Where?
Everywhere. The oven's got something special for you. Pink, just take a bite and you will see.
Curtsy. That was a wonderful performance, Miss Offender. Bravo!
I dance along every time I watch the show. ... Perhaps Miles might enjoy too. I suggest it later. If I can get his face away from the Steel Samurai once in a while, that would be sweet. But all this dancing really takes it out of a guy. Oh.
I'm so sorry. I'm the world's worst hostess. Here, nothing relaxes the body and mind like a cup of tea.
Ah, this is Ceylon tea, correct? It's delicious. Its citrus aroma is said to improve one's ability to concentrate, as I recall. Interesting. So this is what Ceylon tea tastes like, huh? How odd. The saucer is cold.
Oh yes, it's so that the tea cools down more quickly, I'm afraid. Some of our guests don't like it too hot.
I see. These teacups are very unique too. The design is really something.
You think so? Thank you so much. I ordered them all the way from France. They're my absolute favorite. They were designed by a marvelous sculptor named Paul Lalique. Have you heard of him?
Paul Lalique? I heard of workaholic, an alcoholic, but not of a Paulaholic.
He makes the most amazing tableware in the world.
You're clearly a big fan of his work.
Oh, I am. These teacups are my greatest treasure.
She's certainly not afraid to show it when she's passionate about something. If you don't mind, Miss Bound, I would like to move on to the reason we're here. Can you tell us everything you know about the unfortunate incident that occurred earlier?
Of course. I'm sorry for getting so distracted. I'm guessing I'm still in shock. Because I'm the one who found the body, you see.
You discovered a victim. Is it true that the body was recovered from inside one of Mr. Tangaroa's creation?
It is. We were in the middle of the contest's final judgment phase when I heard the sound of something big collapsing coming from Samson's room. Samson, are you in here? I opened the door and went inside, and there was Mr. Frost's body!
Thank you. Sorry to make you relive such a traumatic experience.
Think nothing of it, please. I only wish I had more to tell you.
Now, if you don't mind, Miss Bound, I would like to begin our investigation of the crime scene.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you have to save Samson! He's no murderer, he could never do something like that.
Of course. Leave it to us, Miss Bound.
Thank you so much. I'll go serve the other their tea then.
Come, Eddie. To the scene of the crime. Yes, sir, Mr. E. Oh, we have Detective Bad is here. And we have one of the chef. He holds his turkey basters like samurai swords for some reason. He's got two of them. He's got a little cut on it. I think he cuts himself as well. So yeah, this is something made out of chocolate. So the boat piece broke and fell on the treasure chest, revealing a body. So we have the Countess Venue Tangaroa's room. No way! Everything in this room is made of chocolate? I can't believe I'm getting to see so many of Samson's creation this up close and personal. I might be more excited myself if the room wasn't a murder scene. Ugh, just hearing you say that sends a shiver down my spine. That might just be the temperature in here. It's rather cold. Yeah, now that you mention it, it is pretty chill. Achoo! Hey! You finished on the scene already? That was fast. Think his hat's off? Pleasure to meet you, Gregory Edgeworth. I'm representing Mr. Tangaroa. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Nice to meet you. Bad. Detective Taro Bad. Note. The detective in charge is named Bad, a man of few words. He eats the paper. Huh. Something about this just doesn't taste right. He takes notes and he eats it to commit them to memory. This is weird. Swallows them. You're eating your notepaper? He likes to chew over his thoughts rather literally, I'm afraid. He helps him to digest and remember them. It's a little quirk of his. Please try to ignore it. Although, I'd be the first to admit that's easier said than done. With introduction out of the way, Detective Bad, would you mind if we join you in investigating the scene? Sorry, not gonna happen. What? How come? Mr. Edgeworth is Mr. Tangaroa's attorney. Yeah. And attorneys will do anything to get him off the hook. Even put words in their clients' mouths. I'm just noticing there's not a lot of change on Detective Bad's outfit, save for the fact that he has not a single hair of gray or white on his hair or beard, and his trench coat has no bullet holes whatsoever. You think I need that on my crime scene? Mr. Edgeworth will never do something like that. Huh. I don't trust attorneys. Okay, kid? Detective, you established my client's supposed guilt based on an investigation of the crime scene, correct? That's usually how it works, yeah? What of it? Then extend me the same courtesy. I believe he is innocent, and I would like the chance to prove it. You believe he's innocent. You didn't even see the scene yet? That's some flimsy lawyering. That's exactly why I wish to see the scene for myself. I need to ensure that my belief is based on solid evidence and sound reasoning. You're about to tell me you're not leaving until I let you look over the scene? I am. Okay, fine. Knock yourselves out. Thank you, detective. But I'm coming around with you. Like I said, I don't trust attorneys. If you're good with that, go ahead and get to it. That was a lollipop this whole time? I must admit, I didn't see that coming either. We better get started then. I need you to take notes, Eddie. On it, Mr. E. Let's get this over with. Begin investigation. Contest venue, Tangaroa's room. The Red Rover and the Crimson Tide. It looks like this title is the inspiration for everything on display here in this room. The ship and the treasure chest, of course, but also all of the other nautical objects on display. It's certainly a suitably grand team with which to showcase Mr. Tangaroa's talents. This is a fine selection of nautical paraphernalia. You think one of them could be the murder weapon? No, they're all made out of chocolate. You would have a hard time bludgeoning somebody to death with one of them. Can't tell what's real in here. They really do look genuine. I can hardly tell the difference myself. Like, Samsung would be a perfect contestant for chocolate or... chocolate or not. Candy or no candy. A true testament to Mr. Tangaroa's skills. So there's some sort of running fountain here. The forensics are studying it. What are you investigating, officer? Sir! I was just taking the temperature of the water here. And what have you learned? Oh, it's warm, sir. The stream in each room flows in the main fountain and then the water is circulated back to the rooms. Unusual to say the least. I've never seen a house quite like this one. Rich folks. They're all crazy. I cannot check the water myself. How's it looking over there, officer? Nothing of interest in that cupboard, or... Yes, sir! So, there is? Oh, no, there isn't. Just a blowtorch used for cooking and some tableware, sir. You heard the man, Mr. Attorney. Nothing to add, am I right? No. So, you don't have something to add? Oh, no. Can't get a straight answer out of anybody. Perhaps you should ask a straight question. So let's talk to the Japanese dude. And you are? He's got a scar on his eye. Sorry. Meditating. Did you want something, detective? Oh, I'm an attorney, not a detective. Although I understand from the trench coat that I might look like one of those Tracy characters. Gregory Edgeworth, a pleasure to meet you. And I'm his assistant, Eddie Fender. I see. Name's Carmelo Gusto. Carmelo. Caramel. Funny, he has He has an Italian name, but... or a Spanish name, but he's clearly Japanese.
I'm a confectioner, here for the contest.
You are? What's your specialty, Mr. Gusto? Caramel? Oh, he's pumping air inside some sort of...
The art of air and sugar.
So yeah, he's making sculptures. So I thought they were turkey baster, but apparently those are special tool to pump air inside some sort of dough made out of sugar, and you can mold it into anything. It's not like what was the word I'm looking for? Ah, man, they'll come to me. No way! Look at that, it's like a baby seahorse!
It's a dragon, a noble soaring creatures of the sky.
That's a dragon?
It does look more aquatic than airborne. No need to sugarcoat it. My design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Zhangfa. When this is all over, I need to train hard.
Perhaps we should get off the subject of this design sense for now. So what are you doing here, Mr. Gusto? I didn't think they were allowing civilians on the scene yet.
Detective wanted to know more about one of the pieces in here.
Makes sense. Seeing that he's a contestant, perhaps I should ask him a few questions of my own. Carmelo Gusto. There are some interesting implement you use, Mr. Gusto. Yeah. He's gonna do something else. A chicken!
Sugar blowing pumps. They put air into the sugar.
They're so cool, it's like watching a sword master do his thing.
I'm no master. Not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one day or another. That's why I wear red, that way it doesn't matter when I make a mess. The way of the confectioner is a lonely one. You never stop learning. Not until you die.
The way of the confectioner sounds like a long one, too. If he's still injuring himself on a daily basis. Confectionery contest? What can you tell us about the contest? Based on what we've seen so far, flavor doesn't seem to be the only criteria at play.
The contest was Tangaroa's idea. It's about art. Confectionery as well as art.
Confectionery as art?
Art you can eat, every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible.
The whole place does kind of smell like chocolate.
Tangaroa is a genius. Once-in-a-generation talent. Flavor and flair, he has it all. And if you can't outdo the god of confection himself, you cannot win.
I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kind of hard, yeah?
As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. And the real prize here, that's the real prize and nothing else matters.
So you're competing for a title, effectively.
And a treasure, the ultimate cookbook, Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's all written down here. It's the list of rules that was given out to contestants.
Contest rules, a piece of paper listing the rules for the contest. Added to the court record. Ultimate Cookbook, the title of World's Greatest Confectioner. Rules. Number 1. Judging will proceed clockwise from the leftmost room. All contestants to gather in Mr. Tangaroa's room when judging ends. 2. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Stands and display material will be provided. 3. Contestants may not enter another contestant's room until judging has been completed. Fair. So everything must be edible.
Sorry, I don't know much about what happened. I only heard about it after the judging was over.
How was the judging organized?
It started at 3 p.m. Tangaroa began making the rounds right around then.
He left his own room, then worked his way around the venue clockwise. So every room has its own fountain, and it flows into the middle fountain. I would expect it to be the opposite. Like, being the fountain in the middle is the source, and it feeds all the rooms, but apparently it's the other way around. So we have Tangaroa, Gusto, then there's the elevator, then we have Scones, and Frost. Those are the 4 contestants. And one just died. We have the security room, the reception, fountain hall, entrance garden. Okay, my creation were the first to be judged. Okay, so this is weird. Tangaroa is the leftmost, but he's the last to be judged. Even though the rule says he should be first, but it's probably leftmost compared to him. So it's probably a competition between those 3, and he's judging. After that, he went to Skull's room. She's another one of the contestants. What can you tell us about her? Ruthless, brutal. There's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with Cream, some kind of dreamscape. Okay. Then, last of all, Frost's room. His thing was flavored ice. Sculptures this time, so I heard. Okay. So one works with chocolate. Another one works with air puff sugar. The other one is with cream, and the other is with ice. Bound found the body while Tangaroa was still making her rounds. She panicked, ran to call the cops. Tangaroa went right on judging, claims he didn't know anything about it until afterward. Went ahead, looked over the victim's work, even though the guy was nowhere to be seen. Pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's book. I don't have enough information to challenge him on that yet. And by the way, Detective Bad, what were you and Mr. Gusto talking about earlier? I was going to ask about the piece on the wall here. The one in the frame. The map? Seems like something was off. One of the corner looks peeled. Oh no, it's another one. Though I'd better ask somebody. I thought I'd better ask somebody who knows about this stuff. Angel Beset by Thorns, Angel's Cookbook. So is it a frame made out of chocolate? A Diary of Despair, The Light of Life. One of the candles doesn't seem to be lit, and there's a button on the end. But then you bozos showed up, pulled me away from my very important work. Perhaps we can take a closer look at it together. Can't take a hint, can't you? Mr. Gusto, would you mind helping us out? Of course. Confectionery is my life. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. That's very kind of you. It's a journal belonging to the captain of the chocolate ship, also made of chocolate. A Diary of Despair. That's some title. Come, hearken, see how we crossed the sea and rode the red tide to misery. Quite a jaunty rhyme for such a tragic sounding tale. Candelabra, made out of chocolate. There's a title here, The Light of Life. Wow, this particular light seems to be missing one of its life-giving flames. Does this have some sort of symbolic meaning? Or could it be? I wonder if the candles are made of chocolate as well. Because those looks like bulbs. But if there's nothing electric in there, that must be candy as well. Who knew you could make a picture this pretty out of chocolate? Uh-oh, I just noticed somebody put his nasty little fingers on the chocolate. I can see a handprint. Samson really is a god among men. Is it really made of chocolate though? Looks far too much like a regular illustration to me. You have a good eye, I'm impressed. That's no piece of candy. That's the ultimate cookbook. The ultimate cookbook, eh? In other words, the grand prize. What? So it's not made of chocolate after all? No, the book is simply in frame, son. Tangaroa showed it all to us when he gathered here to explain the rules. So the participant knew that the grand prize was in this room the whole time. Anyway, you see it too, right? The frame. Something's missing. Ah, the oddity detective Bad was going to ask Mr. Gusto about earlier, yes. You're right, detective. Something is amiss from this frame. So it's not just me, eh? Huh? What's missing? I'd better show Eddie which part of the frame is missing some chocolate. There's this part. And there's also that handprint over there.
Take that!
Take that! Look at the decorative work in the corner here. Something's missing, no? Oh yeah, it's different from the other side. That's not like Tangaroa. The balance is all wrong. But that's not all. Take a look around. Every confection in this room is missing some small bit. You're right. The candle holder, the nautical stuff, they're all like that. Did somebody deliberately damage them? Tangaroa's creation have been tempered in several places. That's a very good question. Or did Tangaroa just want it to look like somebody messed it with his work? He would never do that to his own creations, never! Could this have some deeper meaning for the case? I must scour the scene and inspect everything and anything that catches my attention. There's this. Are these finger marks? Yeah. We don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints. So no idea. Finger marks without prints. They could certainly be important to the case. Frame finger marks. Someone left finger marks on the chocolate frame but didn't leave any prints. It's a real head scratcher, alright? Not really. I'm guessing whoever it was wore gloves. Ah, where's your sense of romance? Of adventure? There doesn't seem to be much of either at a crime scene, Eddie. Achoo! You're right, Eddie. Yeah, but it sure is chilly in here. Yes, it wasn't exactly warm out in the fountain room either. But it's even colder in here. Would you like to borrow my jacket? No, I'm fine. And besides, you said you'd give it to me when I finally got my attorney's badge. Huh, I did, didn't I? Why do they have their heat down so low? Oh, chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a good look behind that panel on the wall. What panel? 59 Fahrenheit. Fair. Look at that, it was there this whole time. There's one in each of the contest rooms. Tangaroa hid them so they wouldn't spoil the aesthetic of our works. And what do the controls do? They adjust the temperature and the lighting. goes all the way down to minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold enough to keep any confectioner from melting. Confectionery. Yeah, no shit. Minus 22, that's a freezer. So in effect, each room is a giant freezer. It's 59 degrees in here. No wonder I'm cold. Hey, Detective Bad, you mind if we turn it up a little? Are you crazy? Big eyes. Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. But I'm not a detective. The same goes for attorneys, Eddie. We must never disturb the scene of the crime. Get used to the cold. It's part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it. True. Past 70 and it starts to melt. No reason why you holding chocolate and melts in your hand. It's exactly why. You know the temperatures by heart, huh? Yes, it is your job. It is the very least I should know. Any real confectioner should be able to tell you that and more. Alright, what about lollipops and cream? It's not too hot or too humid. A lollipop should be fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept at around 50 degrees. Yep. Cream over 40 is very not good. So 50 degrees is the danger zone, actually, for cream. I need to watch out for hidden humidity, huh? Duly noted. Detective Bad kind of brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he? I suppose he must be very fond of them. I don't believe there is any more to be found here. Except the chocolate frame itself. Looks like a fire alarm. Yeah. Before you start prodding it, it's not made of chocolate. Push it, and bells will start ringing. People will come running from the security room. A whole bunch of assholes, so don't. I know you want to, but don't. Honestly, the thought hasn't even crossed my mind. Typical attorney. What does being an attorney have to do with anything? These controls can be used to adjust the room temperatures and lighting. Red, yellow, green, dark blue, light blue, white? That's a huge range. Temperature is set to 59 degrees. Light color is set to white. The pieces of the air are made of chocolate, that's why. White light makes them look better. Mr. Tangaroa must see the room itself as part of his carefully crafted creations. The picture is not made of chocolate. It's the cover of a book, the ultimate cookbook. The ultimate cookbook, in other words, the grand prize. Yes, framed in chocolate. Tangaroa showed it to all of us when he guided us here to explain the rules. So the participant knew that the grand prize was in this room the whole time. Okay. There's an inkwell made of chocolate. Guess we found everything in the side. No, there's something more. Well, and not there's something more, but it's not not relevant to the case. But let's check anyway. Ah, never mind. A well-equipped kitchen, as one might expect. Sadly, it doesn't look like there's much to be found in the way of clues. Nothing of interest in the fridge either. We'll check. There's some very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. The tea set is of the same design as one of Miss Bound served us with earlier. Dick Sampson could have been drinking tea out of that. The pot and cup were destined for Brits. His were the only ones they found. And one of that's the case for the utensils too. Everything else has been washed. So there weren't any prints to find. And if Mr. Tangaroa was wearing gloves while he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why prints were only found on the teacup and the teapot in the teapot and the cup. Mr. Tangaroa's teapot, a Polo League piece of Tangaroa's fingerprints on it. Gloves. Tangaroa wore them when he was working on his masterpiece over there. They're conveniently good at hiding fingerprints too. I suppose it's possible to employ them in such a manner. But is it really all that suspicious to find a pair of gloves in a kitchen like this? I'm a detective. Everything's suspicious. That's the job. Alright, let's look at the centerpiece. So, this is where the body was discovered. Yeah. They took it away already, but everything else is just how we found it. It's really rather impressive making an entire ship out of chocolate. That's Samson Tangaroa for you! Don't you just want to take a big bite out of it? Which part to bite first, though? That's the real head scratcher, you know? Bite any part of it, kid, and you'll be off the crime scene so fast your head will spin. Hey, it was just a joke. Stop staring at me like that. I do sometimes wish Eddie would keep his cool a little better. It appears the body was inside the treasure chest. Yeah. Woman by the name of Bound found it.
Samson, are you in here? Ah!
Seems she heard something breaking and came in to see what it was. Sound of something breaking. If only we have just a little more information. There's something else in there. It looks like a seal of some kind, with somebody's initial and an intricate shape carved into it. HP. PH, with a snowflake icon on it. Is it for making those fancy wax things on documents? Do you think it belongs to the victim? No idea. But it's gotta get logged anyway, so I'll take that. A seal that was found near the body when it was discovered. What could the design signify? Oh! PH, Paula Leak. One of the stands for the ship is broken. The ship's collapsed because one of the stand broke. The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think... Could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship? If he was, that becomes an accidental death and not a murder. Are you too serious? Don't worry, detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing a possibility. I was being serious, though. Detective, can you tell us a little bit more about the state of the victim's body? Let me see. Got a picture here someplace? You can see for yourself. Death was from blunt force trauma. The victim was struck and killed with some kind of blunt object. Okay, so that guy has long hair. And the body was covered in blue tarp. And what about the weapon? Has it been found yet? You could ask the prosecutor in charge about that. The detective's not one for sharing much, I see. Would you mind if we borrow this? No skin off my nose. It's not like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body. An instant camera, like it's disposable or something? No, it means that it develops the picture right there and when you take them. Right there and then. No way! Sounds pretty convenient. Now then, I better get my facts straight and take down some notes on my own. Something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. I'll need to call on my powers of deduction to figure out why. Crime scene notes? Notes about the crime scene. The police have taken custody of the body. Okay, let's do some logic. The broken stand. Sound of something breaking. The stand broke and the ship collapsed with it. And the loud sound it made brought Miss Bound running. Yeah. Said the ship was already killed over by the time she got in there. But why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break? Why did it break? Why did the chocolate stand supporting the ship break? Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go. Could that really have been the case? I wonder. Damage creation. Why did it break? I believe somebody tampered with it. All of Mr. Tangaroa's creation are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody really went all out. Do you think he could have been the killer? It's certainly a possibility. Either way, I think we can simply say the stand was damaged in our mystery person's tempering spree. And when it broke, the shield fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise. Yeah, the killer didn't do it. Somebody sabotaged the gallery, but he wasn't aware that there was actually a body inside of the chest. We checked everything. A real crime scene! This is so exciting! This isn't a game, Eddie. I need you to take it seriously. Don't worry, Mr. E. I'm taking notes on everything. You are? What kind of notes? Notes about all this delicious stuff is made. Can't wait to try out for myself. I'm not playing around, Edward. Take this seriously. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? More on the ship? Yeah, I only checked one side. Voyage of the Red Rover. After sailing the seven seas, the legendary ship happens upon the great treasure at last. This piece is a tribute to the adventurous spirit of our ancestors. It's titled Voyage of the Red Rover. Yeah, I just read that. Huh. Who knew? So they sailed 6 whole seas before they found anything. Not exactly the luckiest crew out there. Sometimes you gotta take a bunch of wrong turns before you find the truth. That's what being a real detective is all about. Did you even have detective back in those days? Nope. Detectives started in the 1800s. Before it was just the military police. Oh, I can deduce on something. That's what they want me to do. What do I have? The victim's body was found in Samson Tangaroa's room inside the chocolate treasure chest. Cause of death, blood loss following blunt force trauma. Oh, okay, I'm noticing the... Oh, they removed... I see what happened there. There was blood at the bottom of their chest, but they removed it.
Eureka!
Eureka! You said the only thing that has been removed from the scene is the body? Yeah. That and the piece of cloth it was wrapped in. There's something here. Doesn't quite add up. Doesn't? Take another look at the scene in front of us, detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing. Oh, ben tabarnak. You're right. Don't remember anything mentioning they removed the blood along with the body. Let me check with forensics. What is it, Mr. E? What did you figure out? Compare the treasure chest and the photograph to the real thing. In the picture, the solid chocolate bottom continues underneath the deceased's head. And yet, the part of the chest is now gone. The part with the blood all over it! Exactly. So did the police remove it, or perhaps the killer? It wasn't forensics. They're saying nobody took anything like that away. Oh my god, if I think who the prosecutor is, I'm gonna be so mad. Interesting. So somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene. Could be. Crime scene notes. Notes about the crime scene. The police have taken custody of the body. Investigation complete. Okay. I think we're about done here for now. Note about the crime scene. Police have taken custody of the body. Okay. Well, if I weren't convinced before, I am now. Tangaroa did it. No two ways about it. What do you mean? All the rooms in this place locked from the inside. The only way to unlock it from the outside is with this key. I see. I mean, who has access to that key? Who do you think? Tangaroa. And it's the only one. There aren't any copies. Mentioned key added to the court record. This one and only key unlocks every door in the mansion. Tangaroa was in possession of it the entire time. With the mansion key, Tangaroa could slip into anybody else's room anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted. But Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it? No. Which is exactly what makes him a suspect. Would you care to explain your thinking? why I think Tangaroa did it. If the door has been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. And why he's smashing the lid of the treasure chest so that the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in this room when the judging finished up. So he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney?
Do you also believe it was Mr. Tangaroa who damaged the other pieces in this room?
Yeah. I know you have to believe your client, that's your job, but I'm a detective. And I serve the law. And no matter how squeaky clean somebody might seem, a suspect is still a suspect.
I fully understand your reasoning, Detective. Now, would you mind if I apply a little critical thinking on my own?
Yeah, you're worse.
Just as a detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my belief either. I'm not about to just accept his version of events, in fact. I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claim.
The door had been locked when the body was found. Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect.
Hold it.
That's hardly solid grounds on which to base your suspicion on Mr. Tangaroa, Detective.
That's hardly solid ground to start shouting objection left and right now, Mr. Attorney. Maybe quit interrupting and let me finish. That's why I deliberately didn't lock his room.
Hold it.
And why would he deliberately not lock his door?
Because if he locked it, he might as well have held up a sign saying he did it since he had the only key.
But maybe it was just a coincidence?
Maybe he just left it unlocked without meaning to. He just happened to leave it unlocked, and somebody just happened to find a body inside. Come on, kid. You'll never make detective thinking like that.
But I don't want to be a detective, I want to be an attorney! I'll be grateful if you stop trying to steal my apprentice.
Look, there's a reason why Tangaroa left his door unlocked. And why he smashed the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display.
Hold it.
So you're saying Mr. Tangaroa himself deliberately smashed the treasure chest open?
Yup. If he hadn't, the body would have never been found.
I struggle to see how he managed to destroy his creation while judging the contest at the same time.
Exactly! Besides, there's no way he would have disrespected his sweets. He eats every last crumb of bacon bop while dancing. That's the only way his stuffs get destroyed. This isn't about what happened on TV, kid.
So you know about Big and Bob, Detective. Am I the only one who isn't familiar with this show?
Wow, I never would have guessed. Can you sing the theme song too? No. Never mind that now. Focus. The point is this. Tangaroa was responsible for breaking that lid. Everyone was supposed to gather in this room when the judging finished up.
Hold it.
The judging began in Mr. Gusto's room, correct? Yeah. Kinda wanted to check his hard candy stuff out myself.
In that case, how about a demonstration? Well, it's you, Detective.
I'm a little Shiba Inu? Are you calling him a dirty dog?
It's a wolf!
Oof, it's a cute wolf. Huh, a lone wolf, huh. I like it. I'm starting to enjoy these little displays. Anyhow, so he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there.
Hold it.
Do you have a clear idea when exactly the murder took place? Not yet. Top few reports still pending. And yet you still went ahead and arrested Mr. Tangaroa. We may not know when the murder happened, but we know when the body was discovered. It was while Tangaroa was judging Gusto's room. The perfect alibi if he could set it up just right. But still no grounds for an arrest. Surely you have to agree with that. Why? Especially when I've got nothing more to say to you. Why do I get the feeling he's hiding something? Detective Bass seems pretty convinced that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit. But there's no way he would have vandalized his own creation. No way! Still, the treasure chest did get smashed in. There's no denying that. Perhaps we should focus more on what led to the body discovery. Doing so should make it easier to spot the flaw in Detective Bad's theory. So what about the crime scene note? What changed? The lid was closed until the ship collapsed. A part of the treasure chest was covered in blood and missing. Every other item in the room is also missing a piece of himself. The cause of death appears to have been blood for a trauma. And the picture. I'm gonna try with the crime scene note.
Objection!
Yeah. We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Miss Bound only came running into this room when she heard a sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing. Sure. Seemed likely based on the evidence. And yet you assert that it was Mr. Tangaroa who has smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. Bad. And if that occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroa, who was out judging the contest of that time. Hold it. I never said they did it then and there. He could have done something to the stand so he would collapse when he was in the middle of judging.
Objection!
Have you any way of proving that assertion? Nope. But if the investigation isn't over yet, there's still time. So he doesn't have anything conclusive. Have you found any prints in this room beside those of Mr. Tangaroa? Yup. On the door. But we found Tangaroa's and Frost's print on there too. We were all brought in here for a briefing, right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. Yep. I take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroa's work for prints yet. Why would... We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so. Huh? Fine. But if we don't find anything, your guy is still top of my list. Got it? You! Check out this chocolate shop for prints now. Yes, sir, right away. Detective Bad. We finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroa, sir. Go on. Whose? Delicious Scone, sir. She's one of the contestants. Good work. Can go back to whatever you were investigating before. Yes, sir. So, it seems we have a suspect besides Mr. Tangaroa. Even without your lawyerly input, I wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway. I'll go speak to Mrs. Scone and see what she has to say for herself. Delicious Scone. Mr. Gusto mentioned her too. He said that she was ruthless, that she would do anything to win. This Scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, huh, Monsieur E? Yes. I think we'd better try to speak with ourselves as well. Detective Bad? Would you mind if we accompanied you? Babysitting you is not my job. Aw, come on! But, I guess you did pick up a couple of useful clues already. So if you want to tag along, be my guest. Thank you, Detective. You're too kind. But Detective Bad, sir! I don't think that such is a good idea. The lead prosecutor is still busy in there. He'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow. Who is this him? Who did they assign the case to? Manfred von Karma. I knew it! I'm pretty sure that he was the one who tampered with the evidence. He took out the piece of chocolate that has blood in it and destroyed it. He dumped it in the fountain or something. What? They gave it to Von Karma? He hasn't lost a case in 25 years. Manfred von Karma, a living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We've never faced one another in the courtroom, but I've heard plenty of stories. They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict. But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need only continue what I believe is right. To be continued. Do you want to save? Yes, I want to save. Save complete. We're going to investigate Miss Scone's room. Okay. December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contesta venue. Scone's room. Whoa! A candy castle! Look, there are even some little elves to go with it. Everything is green. Room's laid out pretty much the same as Tangaroa's. It's not as cold though, that's something. Should be colder. Should fucking be colder. We said that the cream should be as 50 Fahrenheit. If it's hotter than 59, we have a trouble. Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel in there too. Over where that orange light is, right? We better take a closer look at it when we can. It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicious Scone. Where is my Miss Scone? I was about to. Where is my scone? I'm hungry. I'm a detective. Where's my scone? Mrs. Scone. Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie. Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicious scones at your service. Some cheeky blighters. Back in Blighty even called me Miss Delicious. Tee-hee-hee. Called the lovely boy at 34. Unexpected to say the least. Lovely boys? Really? Even Mr. E? Oh, yes, dear. You, the detective over there. You are lovely boys to me. How old are you? I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad. I wonder just how old she is. Finish this up and we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney. Yes, all right.
Objection!
What? What's the meaning of this? Chit-chatting with the defense? Objection. Mr. Edgeworth, some scary guy just stepped out of the castle. Von Karma. What? He's Manfred Von Karma? Oops, sorry, mannequins. The notorious prosecutor Von Karma himself. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear, never to show your sniveling face again. What a thoroughly rude individual. Those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow, you're even scarier than they say. And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We were hoping you might be permitted us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma. Ha! And why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy? This clearly isn't going to be easy. ... So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it. Why the sudden change of heart? You, tall fellow! Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember? It's 3 letters, Bad. And the 4th one, which is the same as the 3rd one. I didn't ask for your opinion. Thoughts of a lowly detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirit. Bad! See to it that these verbs don't step out of line. Why do I have to? I'm not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's room. A good day. Great, more babysitting. Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together? They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be a bad blood between them. Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. Guess we better get to it. Indeed. Not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motive, but at least we can do that much. Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait until I'm done. But I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet? Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not been long before you did. That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose. What say we look over the room together, Detective? Worked out well enough before. Then you won't have to worry about us messing things up. We can keep an eye on us as we go. What kind of screwball attorney has to have a detective breathing down his neck? Guess I'm stuck with you for a while longer. Yes, you're amazing, Mr. E! You have our thanks, Detective Bad. Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here. Of course. We understand. Now, shall we begin? Begin investigation. I'm gonna check the temperature. It's the cook in me. I need to check the temperature. There's a small door on the wall, just like Mr. Tangaroa's room. Here, I'll open it. Temperature 68 degrees! It's room temp! Dude! Light set to green. Okay, light set to green is fine because it makes the cream look bluish. It looks like Fairy Wonderland. I get it. But this girl doesn't know shit about cream. Fucking A. Alright, I'm gonna go get some more lollipop for Mr. Bad. Be right back. This one is already broken. Okay. Didn't you still say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here is too high. The temperature of scone room is suitable for whipped cream. That is odd. I wonder why. It's a cutie little elf made of candy, and it's sitting on a little tree stump. Huh. The whipped cream decoration around it are beginning to lose their shape. Well, no shit! But the elf seems completely fine. Strange. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Yeah, she's a phony. She's a phony and she cheats. And not only she's a phony and she cheats, she sabotages the competition because she doesn't know shit about shit. There's a blowtorch and some chemicals here. I guess it's all for cooking with. I wonder what these chemicals are. Let's take a look at the labels. Mango Down 911, Omnicyanide 247. Wait! They're all poisons? No, sir. They're common coloring and flavoring used in candies and desserts. With names like that. The first is concentrated mango, boiled down to its purest essence, hence the Mango Down. Sure. They're asking for trouble with a name like that. Now I'm curious about what homicyanide might be. Yeah! Homicyanide. This must be the various stools Miss Scones used to build her castle. Buckets filled with cream, trowels, and a brush. Is she a patissier or a plasterer? Ah, don't you go making jokes at my expenses, you cheeky young devil. I just don't slap stuff on walls like a silly old plasterer. I have to spread the cream out lovely and smooth, then work out all the rough patches. That's literally exactly what a plasterer does. The 4 adorable elves and the sweetest little castle made of sweets. So that's the team behind Miss Scone's creation, huh? Unlucky for her, things aren't quite as sweet around here as she's trying to make out. Let's try the castle itself. Did I try this? Oh! Step ladder! What's the matter? Something weird about the ladder? It's not a ladder, Detective Bad, it's a step ladder. Same difference! Far from it, actually. You know if you observe their basic nature more closely. Amazing, Mr. E. I have to remember this for future reference. Ladders and step ladder, I got a trophy for that. Looking into the true nature of ladders and step ladder. Okay, so there was one in the first game, but this is the one from the second game. I got a trophy for that. Okay, let's look at the castle. It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle is made out of sugar and cream. I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something. I didn't know you were into such fantastical things. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Didn't mean to get so carried away here. Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you. You have a son, Mr. E? I do. He's still at elementary school, and yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale. I can't help but worry that his interest will make it hard for him to make friends. Don't say that, you sound super interesting. You'll make tons of friends, me included, I'm sure. I'd like to think you'd be more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie. Yeah, big brother, huh? Guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously. Indeed. Then with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. There's a stand here. Huh, these pillars. They have hexagonal indentation. Looks like something's supposed to go in there. Huh. Well, whatever they were, they're long gone. Hexagonal indentation, huh? I wonder. These are hexagonal indentation, both pillar. I wonder what they're for. Castles covered in whipped cream, so maybe a giant strawberry. A giant strawberry with an hexagonal bottom. Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't blame a guy for wishing. I prefer bananas myself. Blueberries for me. I prefer cherries. The doors of the castle have been left wide open. Yeah, was the guy born in a barn? Could have please closed them behind him. I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Volkarma's space, Eddie. Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see. Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Ah, the cream's going all runny. The whipped cream is melting and it will lose its shape at the slightest touch. And it's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside of Candy Castle? Alright. Tell me what you want me to look at first. There's some tarp and some crystal in it. I have a feeling that this is not 100% a cream castle. I have a feeling that there's a base and then cream was put on top of it, which right now it's a foul in the rules of the competition. 2 big rock crystal. Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage. Kind of expecting something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know. Maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. And maybe this whole thing is based on a story about a castle with a princess treasure, a priceless treasure hidden inside. Yeah. That was an, this time that was really me sneezing, that was on Fender. It's not even cold here, I don't know why I sneeze. But I breathe better now. Maybe that's it. I need to blow my nose, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. I think I would treat my priceless treasure with a little bit more care. There's something at the bottom of them. Looks like a little stand or something. A rock crystal stand. For some reason, there are stands mounted on the bottom of the rock crystal that found inside the Candy Castle, and they're hexagonal shape as well. I was right, there are gemstones. The stands must be so they can be put on display. Well, whatever they are, it seems like they're not just a large set of paperweights. I'm gonna start thinking as well. The runny cream with the high temperature, that's a big no-no. That's a huge no-no. The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees, my messed up shoes can vouch for that. And yet, when you opened the door to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah, they were sturdier than expected. Sturdy, that's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries. I think we better take another look at those handles, don't you? Next question mark. What the? I think it's safe to say those handles aren't even made of candy. It's not just the handles, the whole castle! The little elves! They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top! What? None of this is confectionery art after all! No, it's simply made to look like candy with the cream having been added to let it all an air of authenticity. Fake confection, scones confection were all fakes! What was she up to? Rocky crystal stand, hexagonal indentation. The rock crystal stands and the pillar in front of the crystal castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Oh yeah, hexagon to hexagon. Makes perfect sense. But if that's the case, why were they being hidden inside the castle? There's a bunch of blue cloth. Yeah, there's a bunch of blue cloth back there. 1, 2, 3. All 4 rows all together. Well, they certainly aren't made of candy. No. No idea what this stuff is for. Almost looks like somebody hid it in there. And I think I've seen a fabric of the same color somewhere else before. It's time to deduce the rolls of blue cloth and the rock crystal inside the castle. I imagine both must belong to Miss Cone. Miss Cone! What were you just using the items inside the castle for? Oh, those! Sorry, Lambkin, but I'm not allowed to say. Let me guess. Von Karma. Big, how did you know? Please don't ask me to tell you. He'll have my guts for goddess. It seems the prosecution really has no intention of sharing anything with the defense. Man, I thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but... What's that, dearie? You interested in my little trinkets? Your trinkets? Yes, my sweet, I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed. You use rock crystals and cloths to do that? I do, it's wonderful, you should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystal either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside of them. Wow, those things are lamps! Tee-hee-hee-hee! Oh, that's not even half of it. Those cloths hold an even more exciting secret. She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets. Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic, eh? Oh, Buddy Bumpkin, can you get it all out and set it up for me? The name is bad. So is that a no? Why are you so big, so selfish, Buddy Bumpkin? That's that. You finished taking photos of this room yet? Yes, sir, we have, sir. Then help Miss Scone here with something, will you? Yes, sir. You're a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Buddy B? That's amazing, Miss Scones. You got him to do exactly what you wanted. That's some talent. So the castle's gonna light up. Thank you ever much. Thank you ever so much, Bodykeens. And you, Officer Lovely. She's even giving nicknames to the forensics guys now. I guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So, what about this is supposed to be relaxing exactly? Oh, don't be such a big sourpuss, Batty B. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now. Yes, ma'am. The cloth change colors. The cloths are on the elves. When you plug it in, it makes some blue light and purple light. You can switch the color of the cloth. Huh. Wow, it's beautiful. It is. I wish my son were here to see it. Isn't it though? Isn't it just wonderful? The 4 adorable elves and the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my team, you see. And I thought it would be extra lovely if it all was lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you ever seen? One of the elves must be feeling a little left out. Why? Well, there were 2 elves who were sitting on tree trunks with flowers. They're probably made of cream. There are 2 who are on swingers. One is on top of the kitchen and the other is on top of the fountain of the stream. This is how it was supposed to look for the contest. But I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least. Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too? Oh, what's happened there, I wonder? I think we better take a look at the lamps and the elves one more time. I think we're gonna have to talk to Scold for the first time. Some things are overlooked. What's the matter, Miss Scold? You seem a lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago. Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two? Why, yes, nothing happened at all. But you just say yes. That was a hello yes, you silly boy. Aren't you just the sweetest little sugar dumpling? Remind me, what was your name again? Oh, Eddie. Eddie Lumpkin! Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell. Eddie Lumpkin, It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment. Yeah, I made her an Irish for some reason, but apparently she's English. She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E. Never mind that now. We should ask her a few questions while we can. During the contest, could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest? Of course, dearie. Let's see. It all started about 10 in the morning, and that's when we set to work. And, well, I spent most of the time here in my room getting everything ready, as you expect. Oh, and then there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think. Afternoon tea? Yeah, it's an English tradition. A chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk at around 3 p.m. Oh, so kind of like recess? I suppose you could say that. Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Pegleg? Such a clever boy. When did I become Greggy? And when did I become Greggy Pegleg? And where was this afternoon tea served? Out in the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. Did do it at the same hour every break time during the contest. Lay on a nice little spread, you know. But today only me, Samson Sillypants, and Moody Judy were there for it. Samson Sillypants, that's the defendant. Moody Judy, that's Judy. So only 3. Sammy Poople had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time. Sammy Poople. Who is Sammy Poople? It's not Gusto. Oh, it's probably Samson. You call him Sammy Poople. It's Sammy Poodle. But poor old Chili Winks and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they haven't finished yet, bless their hearts. Chili Winks is Frost and Gusty Pants is Gusto. You're saying everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto was present? Aye, that's right dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on some tea and cake served by our own 2 TV superstars. I went back to work when I finished though. Tootled off while the others were still nattering away. And at any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' room? No, dear. Don't be silly. That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Ich caught red-handed! Wait! You admit you were there? Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear. Why are we talking about murder? I suppose I better tell you what really happened. I just promise you believe me, won't you, dear? What really happened? What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room? Well, I suppose we'd call it research. Research? Sammy Poopo's a dabhead when it comes to the whole sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a bit of research, like I say. Confectionery research. Scone visited another contestant's room in the name of research. Wait. So you took a piece of other people's pieces of art to taste it for research in the middle of a contest. What kind of research leaves fingerprints? Yes, that well, it stands to reason I would leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, it's hardly research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it? What? You ate little pieces of them? So, the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room, that was all you? I'm never so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. I just had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I? I didn't want poor Sammy Poople getting upset, so it was just the teeniest bits and pieces. And the stand holding up the ship, you took a bite of that too, I suppose? Oh yes, dear, of course I did. It was you! You brought the whole thing crashing down! I'm so sorry, my lovely, truly I am. Hold on, is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You were heading off for a second helping of sweets? Look, just please believe me. I never killed anybody, I promise. Her actions were certainly suspicious, but that's about all we can say for now. I want to present her with something. Framed finger marks. But those didn't leave any prints, so that wasn't hers. Oh, look at that! Don't you have the loveliest toys, Craigie Begleg? About that color? Oh no, that won't do. Here, let me put a lovely splodge of cream on it. Please stop that! Don't put cream on my evidence. You familiar with Paula Leak? I guess we're done. This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others. Oh, that's why they said that he's a lonely one. It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone. Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? One of them is missing. Oh, yes, the tarp, the missing tarp was covering the body. But one of my cloth and one of my little machines went missing. A cloth? And what sort of machine exactly? Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous cloths are connected to these little thingamajigs. They're called full spectrum light emitting devices. They send light down the main cable into each optical fiber strand. That's what makes the cloth glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. Bright red like ferocious fiery flames. Cold blue like clinking crystals of ice. They have these special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all. Forgive me, so this machine, they're what makes the special luminous cloth light up in all these beautiful colors, Mr. E. I see. So much new technology I can barely keep up. Such a boomer. So, these light emitting devices, you lost one of them, and a piece of luminous cloth. Oh, that's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have gone to. This cloth, it could have something to do with the case. Luminous cloth, special color changing cloth belonging to Scone. She has lost a role along with the device that powers it. Whoa! I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. The lamps appear to be broken. Bulbs are smashed, both of them. Maybe they fell and broke on the floor? Look, there's a red stain on the one on the left. That's not just a stain, that's... Yep, it's blood, alright. I can smell it. Salt lamp is stained with somebody's blood. What? Blood? Why is there blood on this lamp? Could have something to do with why its bulb is broken? We better take a closer look at the other one too. So, Miss Scone's clearly intended to use these lamps in her display. Then why were they stashed inside the castle? Maybe because they're broken. Except, there's plenty of other places she could have put them. The best place to hide some salt is in some sugar, quote. Isn't that how it goes? Or perhaps the best place to hide the trees inside of a forest. Anyway, if our intention was to put these salt lamps in the final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'll need to point out by making a deduction. Okay, let's see. Blunt force trauma, bloody lamp. We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt. And we found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon? For sure, it could definitely do enough damage to kill someone. You, science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet? Yes, sir. Just got done a minute ago, sir. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it. There you have it. Salt lamp under the court record, found in Scone's room, stained with the victim's blood. So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scone's room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects. Confectionery research, fake confection. I want to try see if it clipped. Nope. Worth to try. Okay, so rock lamps. Could this be related to the evidence somehow? The contest rules. Let's see if it works. Yes! Take a look at the list of the rules for the contest, detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous plots would both have been against the rules. Scone's rule breaking. Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle? I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scones before we can say for sure. I'm gonna try. Fake confection, Scones rule breaking. Yes! So not only did she use decoration that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Scones made a mockery of the rules. Yeah, guess she's not gonna get Crown World's greatest now. And why is it so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all of this? Miss Scones' so-called creation are all fake plastic models covered in thick layer of whipped cream. Now the fake confectionery is added to the court record. That's a good question. I think we'd better go ask Miss Scone herself. And that's all she wrote, because we only have confectionery research left. So we have new evidence now. Can we present her with anything? Temperature of the room. Okay, so that's a subject that was added. Miss Scones, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees? Because I hate the cold, don't I, Daddy? And besides, being chilly is no good for a girl. If I want to keep my fresh face complexion, I've got to be careful about these things. We ladies have to stay young, don't you know? How old is she really, though? That's what I would like to know. It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees or it starts to deflate. Is that so, Eddie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only gone and make a whoopsie. Wait, she really didn't know that? Lack of knowledge. Scone doesn't seem to know basic facts about making confectionery. World-class confectioner, my foot. Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. Plus, that she's eating out of research. She's a foodie. She's not a real cook, she's just an enthusiast. Miss Scones grow most mysterious by the minute. Okay, let's present her with the fake confection. No, not even. Okay, fuck her then. confectionery research and lack of knowledge. Miss Scones appeared to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created. And she says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the action of a world-class confectioners competing for a major prize. Yeah, not how I would picture a top drawer acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence? Or she is not actually a confectioner at all. Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have our word for it that she went into that room to do some research. Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder? There's no way of saying so for certain just yet, but she is hiding something, that much I'm certain of. Investigation complete! That's enough investigation for now, don't you think? Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest. Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would have surely found the murder weapon when he searched this room. And yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to. Detective Bad, I have a few things I would like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone. How could you, Buddy Bumpkin? Stop staring at me like that. It appears Detective Bad is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am. Miss Scones, would you be so kind as to accompany us? Of course, dear. Where are we off to? To find Mr. Von Karma. December 24th, 8:05 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. Yeah, Von Karma is just leaving Gusto's room. Mr. Von Karma, we would like to speak with you, if that's alright. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found a murder weapon? We did. It was in Mrs. Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest. Ha! Nonsense! It doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty shall remain. How can you be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? You have an explanation, I assume. But why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room? Of course I do, and I'll be delighted to share it with you. Oh my god, I hate him even worse and worse. Your murder weapon. Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's lamp salt in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if he had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon, considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Scone's room? It is indeed. But it is more than an assertion. It is a fact based on my own investigation. You mean you have proof that he did so? I don't need any such thing. Wait, didn't you say that evidence is everything first? Fuck you, sir. Tisk, tisk, tisk. If you have a rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. But I hardly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic. Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's lamp salt. So he took one of the salt lamp from Miss Scone's from back to his own. Indeed. He prepared beforehand, knowing that it would be the perfect weapon which would with which to kill Frost. But we found the lamp in Miss Scone's room. Surely this casts Miss Scones herself in a suspicious light. Huh, perhaps if you would let me finish. Now, as I was saying. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done.
Hold it.
Hold it. You're talking about the lamp made of rock salt that was hidden inside the candy castle, correct? Precisely. I was the one who found it. So be grateful. It's thanks to me you even have such a vital piece of evidence. What made you go inside the castle in the first place, if you don't mind me asking? Good point. Maybe you just wanted to see what was like, what it was like in there.
Objection! Fools! You think I went in there on a whim? I went in there because detectives are an incompetent lot, so I investigated myself.
Why, I oughta.
I had nothing to do with the initial investigation, you know.
That's right. Thinking Bad wasn't a part of this investigation until very recently.
Heh, if you want my trust, detective, you'll have to earn it. And a good first step would be to stop wasting my time, now if you'll allow me to continue. After all, if it all been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious.
Hold it.
But he came under suspicious anyway due to the body being in his room.
Objection!
So why?
Would you like to hear a favorite expression of mine? Even a dog can hold still and stay. Now let me finish.
If only I could say the same for you.
A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon considerably less so.
Hold it.
So you think he hid the body in the chest but removed the murder weapon from the crime scene?
Yes, he foolishly believed his own creation to be the perfect hiding place.
Heck, I'm sorry, I had to help myself. I think you mean you couldn't help yourself, no?
She doesn't seem very sorry to me. In any case, the weapon was taken away while the body remained at the scene of the crime. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
Hold it.
But if there's no proof, how can you say for certain that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit?
Tish, 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 is that the best you can do at pressing me? Listen here, the presence of the body in Tangaroa's room is in itself proof enough of this guilt.
Objection.
And you didn't find evidence pointing in any other possible suspects.
Perhaps you should take another look. You might. You really don't give up, do you? There is no need to take another look. Tangaroa is guilty. End of story. If you insist on asserting otherwise, then show me some proof to back up your ridiculous claims.
I have to think back over the scene of crime. If Mr. Tangaroa really isn't guilty, then there must be something that points to somebody else. Pressing Mr. Von Karma on any of his statement won't have much of an effect, I fear. My only hope is to find a piece of evidence that contradicts his claim. Okay, I can explore this. So, the lamps both have these hexagonal stands on the bottom, right?
Yes, I imagine the indentation in the pillars were made to accommodate them.
And boy, do they fit like a glove. This lamp isn't working. No, unfortunately, it appears to be broken. Would have been nice to see it all lit up just at once. Miss Gold said it's good for relaxation, right? I could use some of that. Perhaps I'll get one for the office. There's nothing else here. A roll of cloth on navy blue. It's a very calming hue. I like it. Yeah, that was a real deep and all, Mr. E. But let's get to the main event already and light it up. Alright, but I wasn't trying to be deep or anything, though. Okay, I can see the color. Red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, the navy blue, and purple. Whoa, look at all these buttons! I believe, therefore, changing the color of the light. Try pressing one, Eddie. There, now the cloth is all lit up. So pretty, no matter how many times I see it. The cloth is now glowing with a pale blue hue thanks to the light-emitting device. Didn't Miss Gold send one of these clothes and his machines are missing? Who do you think could have taken them? I have no idea, but I suspect it might have something to do with our case somehow. Like, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tanjiro would have been doubly suspicious, but that's what happened with the cloth, because there it is. So, I'm gonna save here, because I don't know if he wants me to present the notes of the body or the tarp itself. I'm gonna try the crime scene notes first.
Objection!
Nope. That's an odd thing to say, considering how it contradicts with this. Von Karma is perfect in every way. There is no contradiction here. None! Ah! Yeah. Did you really think you can make so much as a dent in my logic with that?
Objection!
Oh, so that was wrong altogether. What do you think of this evidence, Von Karma? Nothing! It isn't even worth considering. It's just all I can expect from you. How did you even earn your badge in the first place? And yet, here I stand proudly as a lawyer. Exactly the kind of feeble-minded response I expected. Pathetic! I'm lower than dirt to him. Oh, so this, I get it wrong. So that was the statement I should have pressed instead of the other one. So let's see, is it the crime scene note?
Objection!
Yes. It's true that the murder weapon and the blood-stained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. But something else remained that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half, is that not one of the same luminous cloth we found in Miss Scone's room? What's that, dearie? One of my lovely colorful cloths at the scene of the crime, you say? Luminous cloth? Nonsense! I see no light to speak of. I guess it doesn't know how it works. It may look like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent. ... Look at his face! I don't think he was expecting that! But the fact that the cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. We have to show why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth from Miss Scone's room went missing. And if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? The salt lamp and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. And seeing as the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely even you have to admit that's suspicious. ... Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest. Eek! She's dropping the ball, but she grabbed it with her foot and bring it back up. Greggy Pegleg, how could you? You're accusing me of all people! I'm not accusing you of anything just yet. But I think you're hiding something. That's not... Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Scone's room prior to the murder. Exactly. Tishk, 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 tishk. Is something funny?
Only that you've walked so carelessly into one of my trap! Ha 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 ha! You activated my trap card, Edgeworth! Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. So sorry to have to break it to you.
What does he mean?
Tangaroa spotted them before the contest began and noted that the lamps and cloths contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them and took them to his own room for safekeeping.
What?
Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he had secluded himself in his room. And the only person capable of entering this locked room was Tangaroa, possessing as he did the only key. And as you now know, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I have had everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel to have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom?
Dot dot dot. This can't be happening. Wait, all our hard work was for nothing? Miss Scone, why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroa? Well, dear, many kids said if I spilled the beans, I would end up being the one under suspicion. Mr. Von Karma said that. And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me yourself just a second ago.
Exclamation mark. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Pathetic.
Curse you, Von Karma. You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd made a certain assumption as a result.
One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are two and only two sets of fingerprints on the weapon, sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon.
Two?
Yes, those of Delicious Scone and Samson Tangaroa. No others were found. Tangaroa used a lamp he has confiscated to murder Frost and was foolish enough to hide it in Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints. Tisk, tisk, tisk. At this rate, no one will ever need to testify. My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me as I secure his guilty verdict.
Objection!
But wait, what about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room?
Heh, what about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body.
Arg. I don't have enough to disprove of that Sorry. I don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying.
Tishk, tishk, tishk. No more pitiful objections? Then get out of my sight and close the door behind you.
Mr. E!
I'm not about to just give up. I see you mean to waste more of my time. Bad, escort them out of the premises now.
Hold it.
This investigation is not over yet.
Detective Bad.
What is the meaning of this? Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases I've solved. There's still one last thing for the crime scene we haven't identified. Exclamation mark.
He's right. We still have the evidence of somebody's activity to account for.
We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, Detective. But whatever they might be, they're no business of the defense's.
Objection!
I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad.
What?
This is the yet unidentified something that was left in Mr. Tangaroa's room. The seal.
Take that!
We still haven't properly identified this piece of evidence. No, that's not what I was thinking of. Oh. It seems you're the only one who's dissatisfied here.
And I assume there is no such thing as an unidentified piece of evidence to about karma. Ouch. I picked the wrong thing. Still, a single question does remain. The frame finger marks? Yeah, because Scone left her prints everywhere she touched except here.
Take that!
There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangaroa's creation. Supposing they belong to the murderer, it could simply explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon. How do you know so much about the crime scene? Because I let them look around.
Objection!
You let the defense examine the scene, Bad? Are you out of your mind? I don't remember you telling me not to, so fuck it. Insolent worm, you would do well to remember this then, detective. That the result of your next salary review up to me. Ooh. Detective Bad's in trouble now, too. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Detective, Mr. Edgeworth. And you do well to remember that the result of your salary review up to your performance here. A mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation, I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible that those finger marks belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creation.
Objection!
But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there is still something about Miss Scones that doesn't add up. Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat? Oh, stop it, Greggy! Stop it! Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal Delicia? I owned up to nibbling poor Sammy Poo-Poo, sweetie. What more do you want? I don't want to have to make you a suspect, that much is certain. But you lied to us. And you're still not telling us everything. Oh, Greggy! Stop it! Stop bullying me! I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't even know something as fundamental as that? I'm sorry, alright? I'm sorry, I'm just a silly, muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say? I don't think you're a muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place.
Objection!
Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusation to yourself. Evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up. But this is the courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, what proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts? The fake confections.
Take that!
Every single one of Miss Scone's creation break the rules of the contest.
Objection!
The offending items, the cloth and the lamps, were duly confiscated, as we have established. And the witness did not go and bring them back to her room herself.
Objection!
Oh no, but those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room. What? The entire fantastical world Miss Scone created, every last bit of it. It's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room. Exclamation mark. No real-world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true, Bad? Yup. Saw it with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes. Did we finally convince him? With our lives exposed like this, surely we can't continue to deny the facts. Miss Scone, your action placed you firmly on our list of suspects. But no, dear, I'm no killer. Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really, and why were you tampering with your rival's work? All right. The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. Yes, I know. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it. A pharmacist? Oh, I can't blame for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. Well, with the poison that we found, not the mango down, but the omicyanide, Like, I think being a pharmacist, I would understand why she would carry poison and stuff. Chemicals, you know? So, what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one? Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And some people's sweets are the best, so they say. I just had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the final. Even Mr. Von Karma is lost for words. That's it? That's the only reason you're here? Yes, dear Ed, it was worth it. Samson City Pond sweeties are the tastiest treat I ever did eat. And the finger marks? Were you the one wearing gloves? Ew! No, that wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves. Remember, Miss Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere on Mr. Tangaroa's other creations. I would say that points to her not having worn any gloves. Exactly, damn kid! Greggy Peglegs got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman. Is your head filled with cream too? Eek! Sorry, mannequins. Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Scones, were Mr. Tangaroa's work the only ones you sampled? No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I had finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Shittywink's room for a little taste too. You what? You were in the victim's room too? Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see. Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead. But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits off to the side to cleanse my palate. You have quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scones? Indeed. What didn't she sample? That's everything, I promise. Greggy Peggles, mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things. As long as what you told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end. Do not think for a second that this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Von Karma, please let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we be allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusion. Ha! Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation. We'd like to accompany you all the same. December 24th, 9 p.m. Contest venue, Frost Room. What is the meaning of this? The room has been sabotaged. When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It's all gone. The old enchilada. Somebody messed with Frost's room because since he was making ice confectionaries, somebody turned the temperature all the way up and everything melted down. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden in a chocolate chest. A murder weapon moved mysteriously to another room. This case was a real peach. It was going to take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all. To be continued.